Finally, there's some light at the end of this pandemic tunnel. So how can you get your butt back in gear? Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, we inspire. I've been working for a very long time on a long series and have been neglecting some of the responses I've gotten from some subscribers. So I'm going to read another letter to you, dear Eli's dad. And by the way, don't call me Dear ED. I don't want to be referred to as erectile dysfunction, not in today's times. My point is, let's get right to this letter. All right, Dear Eli's dad, I'm a golfing fanatic. I've been finding that my life is becoming more and more similar to my golf game. My drives always land in the rough. My chip shots get buried in the sand trap. My putter is a weapon of mass destruction. Can you help me out? Signed, Anthony Putzer. P.S. My screen name is A. Putz. Okay, Anthony, let's see if we can't help you out here. And let's not talk about getting your butt back in gear. Let's talk about getting your S in gear. Let's make it simple. Let's get your S in gear. The first thing, let's take a look at a few words. The first word I want to look at is stride. Are you taking a stride in the right direction? Are you moving forward? Are you getting to the starting line? Is your S in the right direction, or are you just saying, I tried? Okay, like on the golf course, you hit the drive, it went into the trees, you tried. You got to stride. You got to get to the driving range and practice. You got to improve what you're doing. Does that make sense? Stride. Get your S in gear. Don't make it tried. Take a stride. Take a step in the right direction. The next thing, sometimes you have to add the S and sometimes you have to subtract the S. There's a space in your life, Anthony. The space is empty. There's a void. There's nothing going on there. You've got to eliminate the S and pick up the pace. You don't want a space, you want a pace. You want to get yourself in motion. Get to the starting line. Once you get to the starting line, you're going to find that your momentum will carry you, and then it will take you to a new starting line. Sometimes on the golf course, you cannot see the flag from the tee, but you hit the ball in the right direction. In life, the same thing is true, but you got to take a step forward. And when you do take that step forward on the golf course, you get closer and closer to the pin, to the hole. You will get closer and closer to your objective in life. Once you start taking steps in that direction, your momentum will build. It will get you closer and closer, and once again, you'll have a new starting line. How about the word seize? What about the S there? Do you seize the day? Do you seize the moment? Or do you eliminate the S and take the least line of resistance, the one that gives you the most ease? You follow what I'm saying? Just adding an S in this particular case. Seize the moment. Spend some time in the morning figuring out what your ideal moment will be, what your objectives are, what your goals are, what your burning desire is. Most people don't even spend time to plan their day. They get up and they just go through motions, and they let other people determine their outcomes, their attitudes, and their results. You're not here on this planet for a very long time. Seize the day and see the day as you want it to evolve. Then you have something to go for. Does that make some sense? The next S we're going to look for, because we want to move our S in the right direction, is strip. You need to strip down your problems into their smallest components. When you do that, then they become achievable. When you're on the tee, you cannot envision, in most cases, if it's, let's say, a par 5, you know, the hole's 400 or 500 yards away, you cannot even see the flag stick. You cannot envision hitting the ball and going into the hole. But what you can do is you can break it down into small components. You can hit your drive down the center of the fairway and get yourself closer so that you can see the flag that you want to achieve. Does that make some sense? And if you do not do that, you end up by eliminating the S, get your S in gear. By tripping, you will trip over the fact that you can't see the final outcome. Life doesn't work that way. You've got to get yourself in motion. There's no two ways about that. You've got to get yourself in motion. And once you do, you're going to get closer and closer to reaching the green. Then you have to steer. And when I say steer, that means get yourself in a direction and be willing to overcome obstacles. If there's a tree in the way, you don't want to hit the ball into the trees, you want to steer around that. Well, life is like that as well. You have a goal, you have an objective, you know there's going to be roadblocks and detours. You have to understand there are going to be trees in the way, there's going to be sand traps in the way between you and the green, between you and the flag stick. You've got to steer around the obstacles. And if you don't do that, if you don't get your S in gear, then you're going to be crying about it later because you're going to tear from your eyeballs, aren't you? So let's steer, let's get your S in gear. The next one is when you have a gut feeling, and you know this, you know it in your gut, when you know there's something that you have to do, don't procrastinate with it. Go with it. Once again, one of the things I preach from this pulpit so many times is that there's a communication. The infinite mind wants to be your partner. And when you communicate with the infinite mind, you can send the vibe out there. How does the infinite mind communicate with you? With either a brain flash, a mind flash, or an event that you couldn't have predicted or planned. You find yourself in circumstances, if your burning desire, if you obsess on your burning desire enough, you'll send that vibe out there because the infinite mind wants to become your partner. But you've got to give the infinite mind a chance to be your partner. And to do that, the infinite mind will send you, like we said, what some people call intuition, other people call mind flashes, other people call events they can't predict or plan. You just have to be in a position to capture the message from your partner. And you must do so with some speed. That's not something that you can put off. Don't procrastinate. When you get that special gut feeling, it's like, I know I got to do something. All right? It's like, you know, when you meet that woman, you know, you're afraid of the opposite sex or whatever, and, you know, you don't want to be rejected, but then something inside you tells you, you've got to go up and approach her. Somehow, some way, you'll figure out how to say the right thing. Get up some courage to go up and speak to that woman. That's your gut telling you to do that. Do it. Follow your intuition. Trust your intuition. That is the infinite partner speaking to you and giving you some clues on how to succeed. And if you don't observe the S in speed, what is it you've done in the woods? I'll leave that to you to figure out. Last one I want to talk about with you on this is you have to get out of your shell. Too many people are confined like a turtle in their shell. They can't go anywhere. They don't do anything. and the confinement is self-inflicted. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something that you're not comfortable doing. Have your grasp exceed your reach. And when you do that, and it's something that you achieve, when you have things like that, make it challenging. Make your goals and objectives challenging every single day, and then you've achieved something, instead of just trying to kill time, which is what so many people do. And when you have a vision, when you have a burning desire, when you have that great objective, that great purpose, then you're in a position where you can feel fulfillment, instead of feeling like, okay, I just got through another day, time to go to sleep and wake up and do the same thing tomorrow. Be excited. Life is worth living when you're excited. You want to live, you don't merely want to exist. And most people just exist, they don't live. So get out of your shell. And if you don't observe the move your S in the right direction in shell, where do you end up? Purgatory, I think. Isn't that how you spell it? Okay. I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts here. Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Are you in that dead-end job over and over and over and over again on the treadmill? When you're working in that job, something you don't care about, it's called stress. When you're working for something that you do care about, you know what we call it? Passion. To be successful, don't follow the crowd. Keep your S moving in the right direction. And always remember, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.